Second question is related to the first one. I think you just made a great insight about the Communist Party's way of socialism democracy and also the Western style electoral democracy. So my second question is, how do you view the leadership style of Xi Jinping as the core of the CPC party? What kind of image do you think he create on the international stage?
You see, President Xi Jinping, when I spoke to him, and Premier Li, what struck me was that the process which they have come through to become the Prime Minister and the President, they started work 30 years ago, and they started working right from the canton, the real village level. And from there they worked all the way up. They went through all the processes. So really it's that long struggle which is what makes a leader. And that sort of process is not prevalent in most of the countries that claim to have electoral democracy. You do not have that sort of process. So you look at the American president, he does not go through that sort of rigorous training for leadership like President Xi Jinping and Premier Li. And the way they work themselves up and the experience from village and then to the province and higher levels. So when they get to the top, they are experienced, they completely understand the system, they understand how people live at the bottom, and which is why they have been able to create this wonder of bringing so many millions of people out of poverty. So this is something quite unique for China. You do not see that in any other democratic system. I think, leave alone the rivalry now between America and China, this economic rivalry. But I can tell you that the world, no matter whatever they think of China, because there's a fear of China's economic dominance now. But apart from that, everyone has to admire what President Xi Jinping has done. His achievements, you see, leaders' achievements speak for themselves. And that's what President Xi Jinping has proved to the world.
Your Excellency, how do you comment on the aid programs provided by China to Pakistan, including vaccine, infrastructure, vocational training, and in other social livelihood sectors?
I think, first of all, the way China dealt with COVID was unique. I mean, considering that this pandemic started in China, the way China coped with it, and then when you look at the rest of the world, China really stands out in the way they dealt with this pandemic. And we are very thankful to China because, the way they helped us, the way they donated the vaccine to us. And really, Pakistan is after China, Pakistan is one of those countries which has actually done very well in the way that we dealt with the pandemic, the way which we coped with it. So Pakistan stands out, in this whole region. And one of the reasons is that China provided us the vaccine very early on, and where we immediately vaccinated the health workers. The first thing we did was vaccinate the health workers, and then went for the vulnerable groups. So, the people who were most at risk and we were all worried about were the health workers, because, they had to deal with the patients. And so we were always worried that, if they became demoralized, then, our health system would fail. So when we were able to, thanks to China,